Pardon the interruption, but I'm Michael Bontoni. A burglar stole Charlie Villanueva's toilet.
I'm Tony Kornheiser. Don't look at me. I use a bucket.
Okay, seriously.
Why would you steal?
Are we going to open with bathroom use?
Well,
how many days is PTI going to resort to that?
Just going to tell you that recent events around the country and the world have limited the kinds of things that we can make fun of.
Right?
That's pretty much what we have left. Who would steal a toilet? What use can what? You kidding?
Maybe they stole it because it was taller and it was a tall person.
What are they going to use it for? They're going to use it as a toilet. They're not expensive. You can buy a toilet.
Oh, they're expensive.
Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode of Derek Jeter takes questions, Lane Kiffin runs it up, and Diddy says he's serious about buying the Carolina Panthers. But we begin today with a report in the Boston Globe that the New England Patriots are cracking down on Tom Brady's personal trainer, Alex Guerrero. Guerrero has been banned from the team plane. His sideline pass has been revoked, and he will not be allowed to treat any Patriots players other than Brady in his office at Gillette Stadium. Wilbon, big deal, little deal, no deal.
It's a big deal to him. It's no deal to the rest of us. First of all, the key phrase in that sentence, in that open was, his office at Gillette Stadium.
Right.
So the Patriots at some point were either from the influence of Tom Brady or being impressed with the doctor, the trainer, said, come on in, you can set up shop here.
Right.
But the Patriots don't owe him the opportunity to put up his shingle at their stadium. And they must have thought he was a cultist or something at some point. And they said, enough of you, get out. And it's okay. They own the team. They can do this.
Yeah, if the question is big deal, little deal, or no deal, I don't think that goes far enough. I think it's big, biggest, bigger than biggest.
Why?
Because it's Tom Brady. Because this is Tom Brady's guru. This is the guy who convinced Tom Brady that he could
eat
play
avocado slices.
Right. He is the avocado shake meister.
Right.
Tom Brady thinks he can play till he's 100 years old. And you know what? You know what just happened on Sunday, late Sunday? The New England Patriots, by making that interception, are in position to go to a Super Bowl again.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you this. If you're Tom Brady, don't you look at this as, why are you coming at me? Why are you coming at me?
No,
I'm Tom Brady.
Maybe you know what your boy is and isn't. And maybe he's great for you, but it doesn't mean maybe there's some liability the Patriots are worried about. Tony, look, this is not unprecedented. There are other franchises in sports where they say to somebody who's been on the team playing and on the sideline, they say, you know what?
Right, I know.
You've got to go now.
I understand
Even though you're friends with whomever, the great lord of the whatever sport it is, you've got to go.
Let me go backwards.
So Brady's just the latest in a long line.
Because I don't know much about this, and neither do you. We don't know a lot of details about this. Okay, more details I'm sure will be forthcoming. But is he dispensing drugs illegally? Is he breaking the law? Because if he's not, then you know what it seems like to me?
What?
It's a turf battle. I would bet that the New England doctors and trainers
are saying,
get this guy out. I know, Mike, but this is Tom Brady. You don't want to upset his equilibrium.
Okay.
He's the most important guy you got.
Suppose Brady doesn't even care.
Well, that I don't
know yet.
I don't know that.
All right, so suppose Brady is a little tired of him. And suppose he's like
that would surprise me.
Wild zealot and it just got too far.
That would surprise
me.
me.
Brady says, you know when you're a kid and you don't really want to go play with the guy from down the street and you say, my parents say no. You can hide behind the owner.
Brady went on the radio yesterday in Boston and spoke very highly of Mr. Guerrero. Okay. My question would be, why are you doing this to Tom Brady? Why?
Can I tell you what? Seriously. This is a nice story in New England. The rest of us can't give a damn about this.
Well, you will. You will if Tom Brady all of a sudden
if he says I'm leaving, I'm going to exercise my free agent
I'm going
rights
out with Alex Guerrero.
We'll go to Buffalo.
Yeah.
We'll go there and set up shop.
We'll see.
See how that works out.
We'll see.
Go without Hoodie. See how that works out.
If this was Kevin Durant, you'd want to do 7 stories on it.
No.
6.
5.
Okay.
Let's go to college football. Sort of. Lane Kiffin's Florida Atlantic trashed poor Akron 50-3. And Kiffin alternated between brutality and sleight of hand to beat the Zips. The game isn't worth recounting, so let's deal with the bizarro head coach, your boy, and the fraudulent 10-year extension he signed to stay in Boca Raton, where you say you're going to retire every week.
Most people there are over the age of 90.
Do you think Kiffin's in this for the long haul, please? Or will he be at the door of some state football factory by the time we get off the air?
Did I tell you yesterday that I liked Lane Kiffin? Did I tell you I hoped he'd win by 40? He won by 47, and today I love Lane Kiffin.
Don't align yourself with Lane
Kiffin. You would be crazy not to consider Lane Kiffin. Now, let's understand something.
He's going to get you on probation.
I understand. I don't know that.
is coming to your campus.
I don't know that.
At least to investigate.
I don't know that. Has he put anybody on probation already?
They're at least coming to take a look at you.
That's fine. Here's what we know about him. We know that he knows offense at this point.
Yeah.
I believe a lot of schools will be interested in him. He did something last night that was unbelievably petty. He went for 2 up 34-3.
He's unbelievably petty.
Right.
He's an unbelievably petty person.
So that is what is peril there, that you can hate him, but can you beat him? Can you beat him?
Look. The guy can obviously coach at a lot of different levels, but the structure and the demands of at least a legit university. So of the 55, how many schools are in those Power 5
conferences? Let's say 60. Let's say there were 60.
Okay. Of those schools, 35 to 40 of them have some standards. I realize that some of them have none, and they don't care. They don't care whether the kids are actually going to school.
Do you know he discourages kids from going to school?
I'm not saying discouraging, Tony. I'm saying that Lane Kiffin, we've seen from his behavior, he just leaves carnage in his wake, and people get tired of him and say, "Get out." A university worth a damn is going to say, I have a bias. I'm from a private university, which would not allow him within 50 miles of the campus.
First of all, unless you know something I don't know, he hasn't put anybody on probation yet.
I said
his career has been a spectacular series of failures. He gets fired from the Raiders. That was the first thing that happened. He goes to Tennessee, spends 1 year, leaves, goes to USC.
Why would you hire
gets
him?
fired on the tarmac.
Why would you hire him?
I think, certainly Claire, Nick Saban. Saban may have said, just get out of here. May have said that. Goes to a school in Florida. He doesn't even know where it is when he signs on. But
let me repeat.
Okay.
Why would you hire that person?
Why would you hire Jim Harbaugh
when
at the end of 4 years or 5 years it ends badly?
Jim Harbaugh's not this guy. He's not.
I think I may be nicer to him than he deserves, and you may be harsher to him than he deserves.
Good, I balanced you then for smooching him too much on this show.
Only because I know you hate him.
Yes.
Derek Jeter met for 90 minutes last night with 200 Marlins season ticket holders, or as we like to say, all the season ticket holders. It was a town hall of sorts. Jeter patiently answered questions about the recent trade-off and sell-off of popular and great players. Among the things Jeter said was, quote, "You earn trust over time. It's going to be a tough road. It's going to take time and effort. You can't throw money at a problem and dig a bigger and bigger hole. You have to build from the bottom up," unquote. Wilbon, if you were a Marlins fan, would Jeter's presentation have calmed you?
For the moment, it's Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter can calm anybody. Hand you a gift basket, you're calm. I mean, right? I mean, this is Derek
200
Jeter.
Season ticket holders, 200 baskets.
That's right.
Thank you.
So yes. But Jeter, and you do it primarily with the sentence, you earn trust over time. That's true. Nothing Derek Jeter said there is out of line. He's not giving you fake news. He's saying something, Tony, that ought to make sense to most people. Now, you may not like it. You may say, "The hell with that. I'm a fan. I want my team to win, and I want to happen sooner than you're promising me." But Jeter was within boundaries, right?
We have been through this before with this very franchise.
Yeah,
we have seen owners come in here who really don't seem to want to spend any money.
After winning a World Series.
They want to put money in a savings account. Well, at the end of the season, the team with the most money in the bank doesn't necessarily win. You have to invest in players. I think they've gotten off to a very, very bad start. Derek Jeter is the face of the franchise, but what he's soon going to find out is that they're going to love him for what he did on the field, and he's off the field.
Well,
is he Jerry West?
That now.
Will he draft Magic Johnson? Will he draft Kobe Bryant? You know what I'm saying?
And
is he Jerry West?
Let me go back to his sentence. You earn trust over time. He's got to prove himself, and his staff has to, with the draft, with free agent signings, with trades, with player development.
They say they don't have any money, Mike.
Tony, you don't go there as a free agent. You get drafted or traded there.
Right.
And maybe you go there because they got enough money. They got enough money for you because you were not a marquee free agent.
Can you answer this one question for me? Why would baseball again go to an ownership group that the first thing they tell you is we're stripping the assets of the team?
Well, of course, Tony, Major League Baseball commissioner got into a dust-up with our friend Dan Le Batard on his show today and says...
I didn't know this.
He didn't say... Says that Major League Baseball doesn't get involved in those specific sort of questions.
Are they crazy then?
Dust-up. It was
you have to know what the money situation is.
You can know what the money situation is. It doesn't mean you're going to ask in an interview, what are you going to do with Giancarlo Stanton? It doesn't mean that.
You could ask in the interview, what is the direction the team is taking? And if a guy says, we got to strip it down, you got to say, well, you got to, there's the door. You got to get out of here.
Something. How many World Series have the Washington Nationals won with their big payroll?
0.
How many have the Florida Marlins won with the every other year rebuild?
2 or 3.
2.
Okay.
So what the hell?
How many fans do they have?
12.
Thank you. No further.
200.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Let's get back into Monday's headline dealing with the sale of the Carolina Panthers. After putting out a video appealing to Carolinians, Sean Diddy Combs has apparently started lining up investors, according to Yahoo. For those of you like me who are completely skeptical that NFL owners who are literally afraid of Colin Kaepernick would partner up with Diddy, there's this quote from Bob Kraft at TMZ, quote, "I'm a big fan of Diddy. He's a very good businessman, and I have a lot of respect for him," close quote. Tony, are there enough owners who feel like Bob Kraft to actually make this happen?
No. I mean, I don't think so. I'm sure he's a very good businessman. He's got the clothing, he's got the music, he's got the vodka.
$800+ million dollars.
He's been an actor on Broadway.
Personal wealth value.
I bet it'd be really wonderful to be in a room with Diddy. But I think if you're Diddy, you need to take the temperature of that room that you're walking into to get a partnership in it. And I don't think you can invite Colin Kaepernick to be a partner when he's suing all of the people that you would like to partner up with. So I think the first move he's got to make is say a little easy on that.
You know how cynical I am about this, that half the owners would recoil.
Yeah.
But something happened to sort of move me off that. I think it's this month or last month in Fortune magazine. There's a photo, not an artist rendition, a photo of Sean Combs in a room with all these billionaires. I don't know if he's the only African-American in there or not. I thought he was. I could be wrong. But Sean Diddy Combs is in there with all these guys who already own teams. And he's like, he has relationships with them. Right. And it seems like Bob Kraft is saying, he already may know the temperature of the room. Now, the Colin Kaepernick thing, you can always back off. Look,
you got it.
We got people who do nothing but bluster in this country who actually run it. And they take the temperature of nothing, and they can get away with saying whatever they want.
Well, they're not.
So maybe
they're not applying for membership in the NFL at the moment.
But
here, look. Does it make sense for the NFL to reach out and try and get a black owner? Of course it does.
No, does it?
Yes, it does. And they should take him very, very seriously, and they should not be dismissive of him. There was a wonderful piece in the Washington Post today by our friend Liz Clark. And she talked about, because she's lived and worked in Charlotte for a bunch of years, and she talked about the embarrassment that the people in Charlotte are feeling now over Jerry Richardson. And the fear that they have that team will be moved, because in 2019, you can get out of that lease. That's just around the corner.
Yeah, but the problem is, Tony, we're not talking about a referendum in North Carolina or Charlotte. We're talking about 31 other owners, none of whom look like Sean Combs.
Let me ask you this. Is it good for the league? Do you think the league would feel comfortable, the people in Charlotte feel comfortable, with a high-profile entertainer from New York City when you're worried about moving the team?
I still have questions, and you do too. That's why we both feel like this is in big doubt.
But fun. But fun
to keep talking about?
Well,
Diddy? Videos?
Let's
you know
see.
What? We didn't think anybody in the White House would be tweeting every day either.
Let's take a break.
So we got that.
That's because you follow Twitter. I don't.
I know.
Coming up, did Thomas Davis,
your boy,
really deserve to have his suspension reduced?
Oh. And is it time to dial back the optimism about Joel Embiid and the Sixers?
Do you know Sean Combs? Do you know him?
I've met him.
Have you met him?
I don't know him.
You drink his vodka? No, you don't drink.
I don't drink it.
The honorary doctor of humane letters is in.
What are you wearing?
And he is ready to perform miracles.
Humane letters.
Let's get the first sentence from the producer over the loudspeaker.
God. Thomas Davis's suspension getting reduced to 1 game is blank.
Standard. This is the standard NFL move. They give you 2 games for something on the field. It's an act of barbarism. You get more than 1 as if you're Tom Brady or you're Ezekiel Elliott. So much for player safety.
And that's why, for all the reasons you just outlined, it's premeditated. They know going in, okay, here's the deal. We're going to give him 2. He's going to get it reduced to 1. We got to have him miss something. So we can't go 1. They didn't want to go 3 and just knock it down to 2. They were fine with a 1-game hit. It's all, we could have used, both of us could have said phony.
Yeah. Next.
It's blank that Joel Embiid has missed the last 2 games with back tightness.
Once again, it's standard. This is what's going to happen with Joel Embiid. You have to take care of him because he's so good when he's on the court. You have to keep him off the court
to
get him on the court.
Is Shaq making money off that deal?
Here's their record.
Ointment on his back?
They're 13-10 when you can get him on the court. They're 1-6 when he can't get on the court. So until he can prove he can stay healthy, this is what you have to do. You have to walk on eggshells with Joel Embiid.
It's the process that Joel Embiid has missed these last 2 games with back tightness. This is what it is. Part of the process is redshirting. It's not being there.
He missed 2 years.
He missed 2 years. And by the way, where was the first kid that drafted that they shipped down to Dallas, and now I don't even know where he is, the other big 6'11" kid?
I don't know.
Embiid, all of them. The kid from DeMatha who was just drafted.
Fultz. Can't play.
They're not out there.
Send him to me. I'm a doctor.
No.
Next.
Trae Young's 22 assists last night
Nerlens Noel.
were blank.
Historic. This kid just tied the D1 record for assists in 1 game. And don't tell me that he did it against Northwestern State, some small school with a 3-7 record, because a lot of good players from power schools play against smaller, weaker schools.
Yeah.
This kid, he gets 26 points and 22 assists, which means he personally accounts for 76 points. Northwestern State had 68 points. He basically beat him by himself. Do you know that he leads D1 in points and assists? 28-5 and 10.
Archibald.
I was going to say Pete Maravich.
You know, Maravich never led an assist.
He didn't? Because he was a great passer.
Tiny Archibald. Tony, it is lottery changing what this kid is doing, the assists and everything else. He reminds me of Mo Cheeks, only maybe sort of a version now, the 3.0 version, a little faster, a little more athletic. I mean, he just passes with this precision. This kid is a great college player, but I still think he's lottery changing. People have to reevaluate what they think of the lottery now.
Next.
Last one, 1,000 wins is a blank mark for Gino Auriemma.
It's base camp. He's going further. I'll make the bad pun. I'm going to say on his way up to the summit, he's going to pass Pat Summitt. Pat Summitt's got 98 more victories than Gino Auriemma. He averages 37 victories a year. He got to 1,000 faster than anybody else. He's 1,135. Yeah. He's got an 88% winning percentage. That's better than John Wooden. He's going to Mount Everest.
It's meaningless. And it's meaningless because all the people on the list, Tony, it's about championships and just a historic life in coaching for each one of them. Let's go over the list. Pat Summitt, who you mentioned. Coach Mike Krzyzewski is second. Tara Vanderveer at Stanford.
She's won championships.
Third. Sylvia Hatchell
just
at North Carolina just got it.
She's won championship.
You know, the number, it doesn't mean anything. These are great coaches.
That's it. The doctor is done. Let's take one last. Do you like this?
Who gave you that?
My friend Jody Forsythe. Still to come. LeVar Ball, your boy, is ready to start a new basketball league. Does he have a good idea?
Can it be on the moon, Alice? And is the latest addition for the San Francisco Giants a difference maker?
Interruption is presented by Captain Morgan. Holiday like a captain. Please drink responsibly. Part of Happy Hour.
Happy time. People, happy 20th birthday, De'Aaron Fox. You think Lonzo Ball is off to a cold start? He's averaging 9 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. De'Aaron Fox, who a lot of people thought was a better prospect, averaging 9 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists for Sacramento. And Malik Monk, who a lot of people thought was the best of the 3,
including you.
He's averaging 6 points, 1 rebound, and 1.5 assists for Charlotte. Wilbur, I thought you liked Fox the best.
No, I like Fox. I still do, but I like Ball. Come on. If Ball forgets about the threes and just plays his game, he's fine now. He'll be fine. Forget the 3 ball.
Happy anniversary, Ben Roethlisberger. On this day 8 years ago, Big Ben threw for 503 yards to beat the Packers, becoming the first Steelers quarterback to throw for over 500 yards in a game. Earlier this month, he went for 506 against the Ravens to become the first player in NFL history with 3 500-yard passing games. But his most memorable pass of this season was that fake spike that was intercepted by the Patriots to end last Sunday's game.
Run the ball. Is Le'Veon Bell in uniform?
Yeah.
Is he on the roster? He was activated, right?
Yes.
Le'Veon Bell, run the damn football.
Happy trails to Brooklyn for the Islanders. The Islanders announced today they are leaving Brooklyn. They will build a new stadium on the grounds of Belmont Park. They're building on the Nassau County side of Belmont Park in Elmont. I could have told you that moving from the Nassau Coliseum to Brooklyn wouldn't work. In fact, I sat here and I did.
You're a doctor.
The Islanders are a Long Island team born and raised. And though the new arena is barely nestled in Nassau County, it's not going to be in Brooklyn. Eat it.
I don't know nothing about
No errors today. Let's go to the big finish.
Let's do it.
Zach Britton, torn Achilles, is likely out until June. Is that a big deal?
Yes, even missing that much of this season in the Orioles. I mean, what are they going to have if they start trading away people and losing people to these kind of injuries? The Rays traded Evan Longoria to the Giants. Is that a big addition?
He was a really great player for a really long time. The last few years, he's down a little bit.
A lot of money.
Although the Giants, they had nothing. Speaking of the Giants, Tim Lincecum reportedly hoping to come back. What are your expectations?
Well, they say there are these pictures of him just being jacked.
Really?
He's in his 30s now, and
wish I was jacked.
LeVar Ball plans to start a league for high school grads who don't want to play in college. Is this a good idea?
Like many of LeVar Ball's ideas, it might be a very good idea. I'm wondering if the messenger is right in these things. Some of the ideas are very good. Last one, the DXL Frisco Bowl tonight. Louisiana Tech and SMU. Who you got in that one?
Here's what I got. I got the Rockets going for their 15th straight, the Bulls going for their 7th straight, the Warriors going for their 10th straight.
You don't got that.
It's a ball night.
You don't got that.
Not that ball.
We're out of time. We'll try and do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
Not LeVar Ball. No. I'm Mike Wilbon, same time.